Absolutely, don't skip this video if you truly love your dog, because you might be unintentionally hurting them every single day, without even realizing it. We all want to give our pets the best. But what if the way you love them, the way you teach them, or even a few habits you think are harmless, are actually slowly causing your dog to lose trust, feel unsafe and unloved? I know, it's a painful thought. The idea that you could be hurting a creature that loves you unconditionally, it breaks your heart. But the truth is, some things, once repeated too often, can leave emotional wounds that your dog may never recover from. Not because they're mad, but because the damage goes too deep. The good news is, if you recognize the signs in time and make changes, everything can be different. Your dog will wag their tail joyfully again when you come home. They'll rest their head on your hand to be petted. And they'll believe again, my human is the safest person in the world. And in today's video, I'll show you 16 seemingly harmless things you might be doing that are hurting your dog more than you think. Watch closely. Some of these are very common, and even kind-hearted dog owners make these mistakes. If you truly want to be a good dog parent, if you want to understand what actually makes dogs happy, this video is for you. And if you find this content valuable, please hit that subscribe button. Not for me, but so you won't miss out on important tips that can help you and your dog live a happier, longer life together. Because number 4 on today's list, in my experience, has made many people cry when they realize it. So now, let's start with the first behavior. Something that might be creating an invisible, painful gap between you and your dog. There's a heartbreaking truth many dog owners don't want to face. Our love, sometimes, can be what hurts them the most. When you gently push them away because you're busy, or frown when they jump on you after waiting all day, you think they'll understand. But to them, the message is, I'm not loved anymore. Slowly, they stop showing affection. Those hopeful eyes turn distant, and tail wags grow shorter, simply because they're afraid of bothering you. And the saddest part? We don't even realize it. The pain deepens when they're forced to meet strangers before they're ready. Some dogs are scared of loud noises, unfamiliar faces, and strange hands reaching toward them. But their owners, eager to show them off or thinking it's socializing, unknowingly place them in a state of fear and defense. One time, 2 times, and soon, doorbells or leashes trigger anxiety. Then there's the moment when we're tired, impatient, and scold them for something they did hours ago. To your dog, it feels like you're angry for no reason. It's not because they're not smart. It's because they can't connect the past action to your current mood. All they feel is, my human is upset, and I don't know why. That anxiety makes them retreat and hide their true feelings. It's especially cruel when the crate, once their safe little castle, becomes a punishment zone. They're locked inside whenever you're mad or need space. Eventually, just saying, go to your crate, makes them lower their gaze and tuck their ears, not because they understand they did something wrong, but because they're scared. That cozy spot, once a place of comfort, becomes filled with dread. Some people think messing with your dog is fun, pretending to throw a ball, blowing in their face, dressing them up for a video. But think about it. If a friend constantly tricked you and never meant what they said, would you trust them? It's the same for dogs. These repeated, harmless jokes turn you from someone they love into someone they feel uneasy around. And if you're thinking, it's okay, my dog's been trained, be careful. Nothing breaks a dog's motivation faster than doing the right thing and getting no praise. When they behave correctly and you don't pet them or say a kind word, they wonder, Did anyone even notice? Eventually, they stop trying. All the training you worked so hard on fades away. Not because your dog isn't smart, but because they don't see the point anymore. What's worse is when you wake them up abruptly, just to cuddle or play. You might think it's cute, but for dogs who've been abandoned, abused, or raised in harsh environments, being touched in their sleep can trigger intense defensive reactions. Some may growl, some may bite. But what hurts most is you've broken their trust. Sleep, one of the few times they feel peace, is now something to be wary of. We love dogs in a human way, but to truly love them right, sometimes we need to see the world through their eyes. And that's why what you're about to hear next might make you pause and rethink everyday behaviors. Have you ever noticed your dog just quietly staring at you for a long time and you're not sure why? Maybe they're trying to say, "I'm really stressed." But instead of being heard, those signals go unnoticed because we're too busy. Many dogs express it by chewing things, barking for no reason, or hiding in corners. Not because they're bad, but because they're calling for help. And each time we ignore it, they sink deeper into loneliness. Just like how we clip nails or groom them without knowing the right way, thinking we're helping, but actually hurting them without realizing. A dull clipper, a rough motion, a cut too deep. They'll remember. And the next time you reach for scissors, their look changes. Not excitement for a makeover, but fear. You didn't mean to hurt them, but for your dog, the pain was real. That fear multiplies when you suddenly switch caregivers with no transition. You leave them with a stranger, go away for days without explaining, without giving them a sense of safety. Your dog may not understand words, but they feel the distance. During those days, they're not just lonely, they're scared of being abandoned. And next time you grab your suitcase, they'll curl up in a corner, not out of anger, but worry. Will my human come back this time? And when you, exhausted, yell because they broke something or barked too much, they don't hear your words, but they hear the anger in your voice. A voice that once meant love, now becomes frightening. Eventually, they follow orders not out of understanding, but fear. And that kind of relationship, is it still love? One small thing that brings big joy to a dog is sniffing. But many people rush the walk and don't let them stop to smell. But did you know? A dog's nose is their window to the world. A walk without sniffing, for them, is like you going on vacation blindfolded. Would you still enjoy the trip? Worse still, when they're compared, why aren't you as well behaved as Hoa's dog? Why can't you do tricks like other dogs? They may not understand the words, but they feel the tone, the looks, the disappointment. Over time, they start to doubt themselves. Their confidence fades, replaced by a confused look that says, "I'm trying to make you happy. Why isn't it enough?" That feeling of not being good enough is clearer when they don't get enough exercise. Some think feeding them is enough, but for dogs, running and playing is how they relieve stress, how they refresh. Day after day, stuck indoors, with no movement, no play, your dog's mental health will spiral. From a happy pup, they become irritable and sluggish, and you won't know why. Just like when you suddenly ban them from the bed or bedroom without a gradual change. To you, it's necessary, for work or health, but for your dog, it's a massive shift. Being excluded, kicked out of your world, leaves them feeling unsafe. They don't know what they did wrong, just that yesterday they were allowed, and today they're not. And that gap, if not filled with love and gentle explanation, can last forever. You see, it's not that you don't love your dog, but love, if not given the right way, can sometimes hurt the most. But today, you took the time to listen, to reflect, to understand your dog better. And just that, your dog will feel the change. They'll forgive, not because they forgot, but because they can sense your love is coming back the right way. If you want to keep walking this journey of becoming a mindful, loving dog parent, subscribe to the channel. There are still so many small but meaningful things we can explore together, so your dog won't just live, they'll live joyfully and fully.